Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shriman Venkatanatharya Kavitarkika Kesari Vedantacharya Varyo me Sannidhattam Sadahridi. We are now studying the Paduka Sahasram composed by Vedanta Deshika. Today we will see the 32nd verse of the chapter called Prabhava Paddhati. It is the 32nd verse of this chapter and 62nd verse of the entire Paduka Sahasram. Here in this verse, in this third chapter, Vedanta Deshika says, Mukunda Mani Paduke. So first we will see the verse. Samukshipati Chetasi Sthira Niveshita Tavaki Mukunda Mani Paduke Muhurupasana Vasana Udarka Parikarka Shanu Pariparvana Kharvitan Anartha Shatagarbitan Amara Shambali Vibhraman. So here the desire for enjoying different realms or different worlds is denounced. So there should be only one desire: to see the Lord, to enjoy the presence of Lord, to enjoy being near the Lord. But to enjoy some kind of world like Swarga, heaven, or Brahmaloka, Indraloka, etc., that is unbecoming of a devotee. This desire is a petty desire. Desire for something either in this world, in this birth, or desiring something which is beyond or after this birth. Iha means this birth, this lifetime. Apara means the next lifetime. So if you desire anything for next lifetime or this lifetime, in contrast to desiring the presence of God, desiring the proximity of God, the sanidhya of God, then that is a desire which does not behove a devotee. That is what is being told here by Vedanta Deshika. He addresses the Paduka. He says, Mukunda Mani Padukya. Paduke. Mukunda Mani Paduke. So Mukunda means Sri Krishna or Lord Vishnu. So Mukunda, the Mani Paduke, the Paduka which has gems, precious gems put on it. Paduka with gems affixed on it. And the Paduka belongs to Mukunda. Mukunda Mani Paduke. Chetasi Sthira Niveshita. Chetasi Sthira Niveshita. Muhu Tavaki Upasana Vasana. Chetasi Sthira Niveshita. So Chetasi. What? In the mind. Chetasi, in the mind. In the mind, sthira, constantly or steadily. Niveshita, that has been kept. So, what has been kept? Muhuhu, repeatedly. Tavaki upasana. So, the habit of repeatedly and steadily Tavaki, regarding you, related to you, concerning you. Concerning you? Concerning you means concerning the Paduka of Lord Ranganatha. Concerning the Paduka, the footwear of Lord Ranganatha. Vedanta Deshika says that in my mind, what has happened? In my mind, I have developed this tendency to constantly think of you. I have developed this tendency to constantly think of you. And muhuhu, repeatedly, frequently think of you. Tavaki, and something related to you. Something related to you. Upasana. Upasana. Meditating on you. So the mind has been habituated. My mind has been habituated to meditate upon you, contemplate upon you, think of you. Muhuhu, muhuhu. Muhur, muhu. Think of you repeatedly, all the times. Whenever occasion arises. That means all the time. I think of you. Muhur, muhuhu. I think of you. Again and again. And my mind is completely your thought. My mind is completely thinking of you. Upasana, it has become like a contemplation. It has become like an exercise I do. Upasana. It's a spiritual exercise I do. But it is not an exercise which I do thinking of that. I do it spontaneously. I think of you. Just like a mother always thinks of her child, or a lover thinks of the beloved. I think of you all the time. Muhur, muhu, repeatedly. And my mind has become habituated to this. It has become the habit of mind to think of you. Whatever I see, I think of you. Whatever color I see, I think of you. Whatever sound I hear, I think of you. So all the aspects of my mind have been completely overshadowed. Completely overshadowed by your thought. That is the thing. And vasana, it has become a habit. It has become an impression. Vasana, it has become an impression. And this is so much that I don't care about other kinds of desires. Other kinds of desires. Udarka. So vasana, muhur, upasana, vasana. Udarka. Udarka means that which is going to come, the force which is going to come. The forceful parikarkashan. So, see, parikarkashan, that means which is going to be unbearable. Unbearable. So, unbearable and with lot of force, what will come? Upari parvana. Upari parvana. So that is compared to higher pleasures. Compared to higher pleasures, these pleasures which might come, which are lower pleasures, they will bring lot of misery. Parikarkashan. They will bring lot of misery. So how they will bring misery? Upari parvana, karvitan, which are low. Karvitan means which have been made low, which have become worthless. Worthless compared to your thought, O Paduka. I constantly think of you. Other things in comparison to you or your thoughts, other thoughts are worthless. They are worthless. They are worthless thoughts. And they are anartha shata garbitan. They are garbitan. They have inside them, means they are holding within them garbha, literally in their womb. They are holding anartha shata. They are holding hundreds of or innumerable anartha, disasters, dangers. They are holding within themselves. What are holding? Those pleasures which are lower compared to higher pleasures. Compared to Upari Parvana, Upari Parva means higher states. Compared to higher states, so higher pleasure. Probably the word pleasure is not quite appropriate here. So higher experiences. Compared to higher experiences, these lower experiences are full of dangers, full of disasters. And how many disasters? We don't know. Innumerable disasters. So, O Paduka, I am constantly thinking of you. I am meditating upon you. But my mind is constantly fixed on you. And it has become a habit of my mind to think of you. And probably that is why there can be this explanation also. Probably that is why my mind is not bothered about the lower experiences, which are called pleasures by the world. Because my mind has become habituated with higher experience. I'm habituated with thinking about your nature, about you, O Paduka. So I have no time, I have no inclination to think about lower pressures. What are the lower pressures? Lower pressures, Amara Shambhali. Amara means celestial. Those who are not having death. Shambhali. Shambhali, Apsaras or celestial nymphs. Celestial nymphs. Amara Shambhali. Shambhali word is, it's got a very derogatory meaning. It means a person who solicits physical amorous pleasure. That is what it means. So, Amara Shambhali. So you are celestial, all those celestial, one can say prostitutes. Vibhraman, their place or their activities. When compared to that, when compared to the higher experiences I have got, higher experience of thinking about you, compared to that higher experience, all the experiences of this, what is called experiencing the heaven or Indraloka, etc. Huge dance is going on, fun frolic is going on, lot of experiences going on. Compared to the experience of thinking about you, thinking of you constantly, making a habit of thinking of you. Thinking of Paduka. Why important? Because you protect the feet of Lord Ranganatha. You protect the feet of the Lord himself. So thinking of you. Thinking of you. That has become a habit. That has become a habit, and it has become so much habit, so much I have invested into this. I have invested a lot into this. I have invested a lot of time and effort into this, into thinking about you. Because I have invested a lot of time and effort into thinking about you, I cannot think of lower experiences. It is unbearable for me to think of lower experiences. And so I am not inclined to think of lower experiences. And they're really lower experiences because they are unbearable. They bring with them unbearable miseries. Unbearable miseries. Parikarkashan. Udarka. Terrible miseries. They bring great miseries. And those miseries are unbearable. And anartha shata garbitan. And they have innumerable disasters or dangers lurking there. Garbitan, lurking there. Samut kshipati. So some utshipati, samyak, completely utshipati. It removes that. So you see, constantly I am thinking about you. Because I am constantly thinking about you, all aspects of you, all the time I'm thinking about you. So this constant habit of thinking about you, constant habit of meditating on you, constant habit of making it a habit, thinking about you has become my habit. So when somebody loves somebody, that love becomes a habit. A person becomes one's habit. So I am thinking about Lord, I am thinking about Lord's Paduka. And that has become a habit. And this habit, what has it brought? This habit has brought this advantage that it has samutshipati. It has completely removed any inclination for lower pressures, any inclination for lower experience, like the desire to experience the worlds of heaven or Indra Loka, etc. The desire to play with Amara Shambali, that means celestial prostitutes, celestial nymphs. The desire to play with them. So very strong word is used here by Vedanta Deshika. Though Indra Loka, Deva Loka, they consist of only apsaras, but he is using a very strong word. He's calling them prostitutes. So he says, Amara Shambali. So Amara Shambali, all these celestial prostitutes, all their plays, all their activities, my mind is not interested. It has removed it away completely. That thought itself, it has removed. It has completely utshipati. It has completely removed it, uprooted it, plucked it, and thrown it away. Thrown it away. Why? Because it is consisting of lot of innumerable disasters. Anartha shata garbhita. So it is full of, it is fraught with anartha shata, innumerable disasters, dangers, miseries, and parikarkasha. So that is why in comparison to upari parva, in comparison to higher experiences, these kharvita, these have become lower experiences. These experiences of heaven. So there are some people who think that the goal of religious or spiritual life is to attain heaven. No, it is not. It is not. The goal is to make your mind completely saturated with the thought of your chosen ideal. Saturated with the thought of God. Completely saturated. So here Vedanta Deshika says that mind has become habituated with your thought, O Paduka. It is constantly thinking about you. You are the only thing it is thinking about. And so it is obviously, automatically, naturally, it is disinclined, it is disinterested in thinking about any other pleasures. It is not thinking. In the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, it is told, Vitarka Vadane Pratipaksha Bhavan. So if you are troubled with hatred, cultivate the opposite, love. Hatred will go automatically. Sri Ramakrishna says that if you want to go farther from the south, start moving towards the north. south will automatically go. The idea is that if you want to give up evil qualities, bad qualities, or cultivate good qualities, bad qualities will automatically go. Instead of thinking that I have to remove these bad qualities, incorporate or inculcate good qualities, bad qualities will go away. Similarly here, because my mind is constantly occupied on the higher experience of thinking about you, my mind does not have any inclination of thinking about the experience of lower planes like the Swarga. And that is why this strong word is used, celestial prostitutes. Amara, celestial. Shambhali, prostitutes. So the celestial prostitutes, I don't want to think about. Because it will only bring great misery. It is not going to do me any good. It's not going to do me any good. It's only going to bring me great misery. And so that is why I will not think about it. So this thing, denouncing Swargaloka or Devaloka, the realm of Devas, gods, Devaloka, the realm of heaven, Swargaloka. This is denounced by many people. Tirumangai Alvar also in her Periya Tirumadal, she denounces this. So she says, this is what it is. This is what all you do charity. This is what it brings. All dharma you do. Charitable actions you do. This is what it brings. This is what it can bring at the most. That for some years you are in the Indraloka and you are experiencing sense experiences in the Indraloka. That is what maximum it can bring. This only it can bring in sings Tirumangai Alvar. Kulasekhara Alvar also, he is not bothered. He says that I am not bothered about the pleasure or experiences which are brought about with the company of Ramba, Urvashri and other Apsaras. Amara, Apsara, celestial nymphs. Here, Vedanta Deshika goes a step further. He uses this word Shambhali. Shambhali means one who solicits physical, sensual pleasure. So he makes it very strong. The meaning becomes stronger. Everyone has denounced the idea of experiencing pleasures in the next world or in the present birth. Pleasure, and that's why one has to give up the idea of experiencing pleasure both in this birth and the hereafter. Because the only pleasure is to think of God. That is the real pleasure. The pleasure is to constantly meditate upon God. Leela Chintana. Constantly meditate upon God. Nama Japa. Constantly telling the name of God. Constantly Swarupa Chintana. Constantly thinking of the form of God. Of the qualities of God. Guna Kirtana. So different aspects of God, my chosen ideal. I can think. Why should I think about lower experience? That is not going to give me anything. Lower experience is not going to even make me human. Lower experience will not make me human. Lower experience will make me only animal. It's only reminding me of my animal nature. It's only reminding me of my animal nature. It's not going to make me human. I am human because I have the possibility of experiencing higher things. That is why I am human. So my mind is not at all bothered about all these small kinds of experience. All this lower experience, my mind is not bothered. So Vibhrama, these pleasures which are brought about by the place, by the sports of these celestial damsels or celestial nymphs or celestial prostitutes, they are so karvita, they're so lower in nature. And also this experience or these kinds of experience, their consequences will be very, very bad. They will be miserable. They're difficult to experience the consequence. And so I am not interested in the consequence because I am habituated to think upon, to meditate upon, contemplate upon Paduka. Oh Paduka, I am habituated. I have made it my habit to think of you. It's my habit. And so that has to be developed. So here, using this particular stanza, Vedanta Deshikan wants to convey to us, if you develop a taste for the Lord or Lord's Paduka, if you develop a taste for the Paduka, if you develop a taste for the thinking, meditation, contemplation on the Paduka, then your mind cannot be bothered about lower experience. Even if that experience is about experience in heaven, your mind will not be bothered, it will not be distracted, it will not be inclined towards such pleasures. Why? Because it is experienced, it is habituated, it has experienced higher things, it has become habituated of higher things. So that is why it will not bother, it will not at all be inclined to think of lower pleasures. So this interest or taste for physical pleasure, sexual pleasure, sensual pleasure is denounced by Vedanta Deshika. Then he says in the 33rd verse, which is also the 63rd verse of Paduka Sahasram, 33rd verse of Prabhava Paddhati, that is the 3rd chapter of Paduka Sahasram. He says, Vigahante Ranga Kshitipati Padatrayini Sakrit Vahantaha Tvam Anta Vinihata Kuchela Vyatikaraha Mada Uddama Stambera Makara Stambera Akarata Nihi Yan Madhujharihi Parivaha Prenkhad Brahmara Mukharam Angana Bhuvam. Here, Ranga Shiti Pati Padatrayini. So, again, it is addressed to the Paduka. Ranga Shitipati. Ranga Shitipati means the Lord of this universe, that means Lord Ranganatha. Padatrayini, that which protects the feet. So that which protects the feet of the Lord of this universe, or that which protects the feet of Lord Ranganatha. So, ho Paduka, it's an address of Paduka. A Paduka is being addressed. Antaha Vinihitaha. Antaha Vinihataha. Antaha Vinihataha. So, Antaha Vinihataha. Antaha, in mind. Vinihataha, kept. Antaha, kept inside. Antaha, inside, or in the Vinihataha, mind. Kept. Vinihataha, kept. Antaha, inside the mind or inside. What? Kuchela Vyatikaraha. Kuchela. Kuchel means Kuchela, Sudama. Sudama, who was the friend of Sri Krishna. He was a friend of Sri Krishna. Vyatikaraha. So those who break Vyatikaraha, those who break that relation, who break the relation, or they break their relation or break their contact. Vyatikaraha, those people who break the contact. Tvam, those who you sakrit once, vahantah santah, once they carry you in their in their mind. Once they carry you in their mind, even once, then they get rid of or they break their contact with Kuchela. Kuchela means Sudama, Sri Krishna's friend who was poor. So here Kuchela means poverty. Or a broader meaning would be misery. So Sudama represents poverty. Sudama represents poverty. Sudama represents misery. Sudama represents helplessness. Sudama represents all kinds of suffering. So Kuchela or Sudama. Kuchela Vyatikaraha. People get rid of this poverty. People get rid of poverty, or people get rid of misery or suffering, etc. Which is what is meant by the word Kuchela here. Even if Sakritah Vahantah Santa, Sakrit Vahantah Santa, even if for once, just for once, a moment, Vahantah Santa, they carry you, or carry your thought in their mind. Antaha vinihataha. So those who carry you in their minds, they get rid of Kuchela. Even once, if they carry you in their mind, they get rid of Kuchela. That means poverty. And what do? Mada Uddama. Mada, because of Mada means rut. Elephant getting into rut. Mada. So mast. In Hindi it is called mast. Hathi. Hathi means elephant. So Mada Uddama. Mada means one's rut. One who gets into the rut. Uddama. And one gets intoxicated. Uddama. Or uncontrollable. Uncontrollable. Uddama means uncontrollable. What uncontrollable? Stambhe Rama. So elephants are in a position of totally they are uncontrolled. Elephants get uncontrolled. Karata Niryat. So what do they do because they are uncontrollable? Because of their being in Mada. So what they do? Karata from their cheeks. Niryat Madhu Jhari. Niryat, it increases from their cheeks. It flows. What flows? Madhu Jhari. Floods of Jhari means floods. torrential or outpouring is there of what? Madhu, of honey. So it is as though when a person is thinking of you, even for a small moment, split second, that person will get rid of automatically, there will be no connection with that person and poverty. That person will get rid of poverty completely. So example is given, just like the elephants who are in a particular mood, those elephants, from their cheek there are floods of pourings of honey and parivaha, and that flows. Prenkat Brahmara Mukharam Angana Bhuvam Vigahante. Vigahante, enter. Enter Angana Bhuvam. They enter the inner area. Angana Bhuvam. Inner area of this Madhu. They enter because they want to have Madhu. So they enter. They want to have honey. So they enter. Why they enter? Because they are attracted by the constant flow of this floods of honey, also from the cheeks of elephants. Cheeks of elephants. And so because of this honey, in pursuit of this honey, there are many bees which come. Madhu Jari, Parivaha Prenkat, Brahmara Mukharam Angana Bhuvam Vigahante. So it is those Brahmara Mukharam. Mukharam Brahmara. Mukharam means they make sound from their mouth. That means they make sound. So like that they will make sound, Brahmara. And they will keep on coming. When they know that there is some honey and it is easily accessible, so they will all come. And they will Angana Bhuvam Vigahante. So they will enter the inner chambers. They will enter the inner chambers. And why do they enter the inner chambers? Because from the Stambherama Karata, from the cheeks of elephants, the honey-like flow is coming out. And so to get that honey, all these honey bees, Brahmara, making lot of sound, they enter the inner quarters or inner area of that person. Here the reference is to the incident that happens in the life of Sudama or Kuchela, who is poor, does not have any recourse, does not know how to conduct one's family, etc. Where will money come from, etc. He is in great worry. At that time, his wife, she says, oh, see, you studied in Sandipani. You went to the same school where Sri Krishna also went. So your friend is Sri Krishna. He is a king. And he is so well connected also. So he is sitting there with Rukmani. He is a king, he has a queen, he has a throne, he has got a castle, etc. So why don't you go to him and ask for some help? Just go to him, ask for some help. So this is such a popular story that there are so many sub-stories and sub-narratives with this story. So this story itself can be told for many, many days. That is the beauty of our Sanatana Dharma culture. Anyway, first Sudama or Kuchela does not agree to this suggestion. He cannot even think how he can go and meet his childhood friend or adolescent friend, teenage friend. And how can he meet him, and how can he, for this purpose, how can he approach him? It's such an embarrassing thing to do. So no, I cannot go. And then wife says, no, you go. Because after all, it is you who has started this family. It is your responsibility to go. So once Sudama is thinking about Lord, he says, okay, let me go. But now the point is, I'm going to meet my friend, my school friend, schoolmate. And should I not take something as a present, as a gift for him? Of course, I should take. What would I take? I don't have anything. That is the problem. That is why in the first place, I'm going to meet him. I don't have anything. So what is it I can take? So rice flakes, mudi, chivda, not mudi, chivda, avil, like that it's called. So poha, that is what he takes, chivda. He takes that. So it is considered to be a very inexpensive, cheap food. Supposed to be poor man's food. So he takes that because he does not have anything else. And he goes to meet his friend Sri Krishna. And when he is leaving, of course, Sri Krishna knows that my friend is coming to meet me. He's, after all, Lord. He knows everything. And he, with torn clothes, very bad shape, he goes to the palace. And as can be expected, the security does not allow him inside. Because he does not look like a person who would be known to Sri Krishna. So he does not look like that. So they don't allow him. And then Sri Krishna knows that he has come. So he asks his security to allow him in. And they meet. They exchange pleasantries. Hi, how are you, etc. And they keep on telling so many things. Seeing the opulence, the extravagance, the great majesty of the palace of Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna's palace. Seeing that, Kuchela or Sudama, he becomes embarrassed. What have I brought for this person? This rice. That is stupid even. It's foolish to bring such thing to such a great person. So what to know? I will not give. So he hides it. And Sri Krishna is, of course, Antaryami. He knows. So he says, what have you brought for me? What have you brought for me? Take it out. Kuchela says, no. Oh, so you have come. You have not brought anything for me. What kind of person you are? You have come to meet me. You're not bringing anything for me. You take, what is that? And then Kuchela or Sudama tries to hide it. And Sri Krishna plays with him and takes it out. And sees that it is some rice flakes, chivda or avil, poha. It is that tied in a piece of cloth. A very, very normal, very common thing. Poor thing. Not very something that one could give a king. Obviously, Sudama is very embarrassed, but Sri Krishna he takes it and so, you have brought this delicacy and you are not giving to me. You are hiding it from me all the time. Then he takes one handful and he just puts in his mouth. And he says, wow, it's so tasty. Very nice. And in the meantime, Sudama has already decided that he will not open his mouth regarding money or something like that, because he, even this much, he did not want to come. But now he has come and seen and met his childhood friend, and he was so much surprised that his childhood friend asked the security to let him in. And then he met everybody and he was so much surprised that even his friend is today also, he's behaving just like he used to behave with him, talk with him when they were in school. What can he ask for more than that? This love. So he thinks, I have come here to ask for such petting thing from my friend. That is not going to happen. I am not going to ask anything. Shri Krishna knows that. Of course, he knows everything. He's Antaryami. He knows everything. Omniscient. So he takes one. Then he eats it and he says, very tasteful. Wow, how tasteful. One handful. Very tasteful. Very tasty. This is what you are hiding. And he takes another one handful he takes. Then the legends say that he's about to take the third handful. Then immediately Rukmani comes running and says, no, don't take it, don't take it. So what is the background story? Background story is when Sri Krishna took the first handful, then Sudama's hut, everything got changed. His hut was replaced by a big mansion, like almost a castle, a palace. And then is so much wealth increased in his house instantly. Then all his children and his wife, everybody got so costly dress, clothes, ornaments, etc. There are many servants, etc. Means his house changed instantly. And that is why Rukmini, she came running, saying that Rukmini, Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth. She came running and saying, oh, don't eat the third handful, because if you eat, then I will have nothing now. From my treasury, it will all go away to your friend. So that is the hint. Sudama does not know any of these things. Sudama is seeing that, oh, my friend is eating what I brought. This, such an insignificant thing I brought. And that also, Sri Krishna is eating with such relish. Eating with such relish. And so, then afterwards he says, okay, I am very happy. I am so happy today. And Sudama or Kuchela, he sets out to his home. And when he goes to his house, he is unable to identify where is that house. So then he first is very much disturbed. He thinks, oh, I went to, and only then he remembers, oh, I went to get some money, some help, financial help from my friend Sri Krishna. But now I see that in the time when I went, my house also has gone away. I have lost my house also, because where the house was there, nothing. That one hut was there. There is no sign of any hut. And so he is about to, he does not know what to do. So he's about to go to some other place. His children are calling him. Huh? Where from are my children calling? He is seeing his children, unable to recognize them, unable to identify them, because they are all wearing such clothes, ornaments, etc. Then his wife comes and says, hey, don't you recognize your house? See, this is your house. And now you see what has happened. So you went to meet your friend and you see what your friend has done. He has done. So Sudama says, but I did not ask him anything. So just thinking of Lord, here of course just thinking of the Paduka of Lord Ranganatha. Just thinking of the Lord, Sri Krishna, Sudama's or Kuchela's entire poverty was removed. It was removed. And so he entered the great mansion of his own home, Kuchela. His own home became a huge palatial mansion. Huge palace it became. It got converted by the grace of Sri Krishna. So anybody who just sakrit, just once sakrit, for once also, if vahantaha santaha, they carry you in their hearts, O Paduka, then what happens? Then they will be entering into apartments in mansions which are filled with the sound of bees, honeybees, which are roaming about because they want to relish the honey-like liquid which is coming out of the cheeks of all these elephants which are in complete mada. Means they are uncontrollable. When does that happen? When an elephant becomes over healthy, when it has had too much to eat and it is having too much to eat for a long time, the fat increases in the elephant and this kind of a discharge happens, which is like honey. So to relish those flow, those waters, honey, these groups of bees, honeybees are coming. So here the idea, by using the word elephant or honey, etc., the idea is the poverty goes away. Who can afford elephants? Only people who have a lot of money. Otherwise, it's very difficult to afford an elephant. To maintain an elephant, it's difficult. So that means a person will have so much of money, so much of wealth, that that person can maintain elephants. That person can maintain elephants, and then person can also, so many bees will come, honey bees. So these people, they will be entering into mansions like this, just like Kuchela entered into his mansion, which was a hut, and it was turned into mansion instantly. Like that, these people will enter into mansions, their own mansions. So they will go into mansions of wealth, just because they have thought about Paduka of Sri Ranganatha. So much of wealth. Not one elephant, many elephants are there. They are all well fed. They are all so much well fed, and elephants have to be tied and kept. So that mansion will be so huge that there will be so many elephants, and every elephant has got a huge area to oneself. And they are also well fed that discharge, honey-like discharge is happening. And so many honeybees are going. The idea is opulence, opulence. So much of money will be there. So much of dhana will be there. Now, one beauty of Vedanta Deshika is the wonderful, exquisite poetry. So this particular stanza, it has been written in the Shikarani Vritta, Shikarani Chanda. And here the idea is that the devotee of Paduka of Lord Ranganatha, just like the devotee of Sri Krishna or Lord Ranganatha, has got so much of wealth, possesses so much wealth. And so this elephant, the idea of giving the example of elephant is because it's called Gajanta Aishwaryam. Means it's an Aishwarya, wealth, which is indicated by owning elephants. So if somebody is saying, I own a Rolls Royce car, immediately you understand that that person is wealthy. Somebody says, I have my flight, I use my flight always to fly. If I have to fly anywhere, I use my, so automatically we understand that, oh, this person is very wealthy. Similarly, if a person says, I have 5 elephants in my home, they are all tied and they are well kept and people take care of them, means that person is also wealthy. Gajanta Aishwarya. In wealth, indication of wealth by the ownership of elephants. So if somebody has 10 elephants, means very wealthy. That is the idea here. And that person, when that person carries Vahantaha, when that person carries in one's mind Lord Ranganatha's Paduka, even for one Sakrit, even for once, then that person enters the mansions of great wealth where all the elephants are fed very nicely. So the fat is coming out as this discharge, and that many honeybees are in pursuit of that. In pursuit of that. Antarvinihata. So there is this Antarvinihita and there is this Antarvinihata. So Vinihata is what we just read. Vinihata Kuchela Vyatikaraha means one who has gotten rid of their connection with Kuchela. Vyatikaraha got rid. Kuchela means here poverty. So Kuchela goes and meets, but he comes, returns and sees that his place is not there. His place has changed. It has become a huge palace. And he did not ask anything. Similarly, a devotee who thinks of Lord Ranganatha's Paduka does not need to ask anything. That devotee is showered with abundance of wealth, abundant wealth. So much wealth that one cannot even imagine. So much wealth, lavish wealth. Lord Ranganatha's Paduka will bless. Of course, God, Lord Ranganatha himself will bless, but here Paduka will bless such a person with tremendous, never-ending wealth. That is the idea. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.